And welcome to the Main Event Sports Show. We're coming to you live from the greatness that is the Old Louisville Pizza Pub here at 1201 South 1st Street, Louisville, Kentucky. Hey, you can join us here every Monday between 7 to 8 p.m. We got pizza specials, drink specials. Come on out, listen to the show, interact with the show, come and talk to us because, man, we'd love to have you out here. We'd love to hear your opinions and give you your takes because, hey, if it wasn't for you guys, we would not be here. But you know what else is here right now? You can come by, hang out with us, and watch the NBA playoffs.
Man, it's going down. After, what seemed to be an absolutely wide-open, amazing NCAA tournament where Villanova gets crowned as champions, now it's time for the big boys to get it going.
The real deal.
That's right. The best, what they say, the best 400 or so players in the world vie for the championship. But there's only one crown.
And
will somebody knock off the Golden State Warriors?
You know what? Because it's not going to be King James.
No, you know what? It's just funny because
Cleveland looked, granted, it's just the first game. You got plenty of time to come back from a bad loss.
Well,
they looked horrible.
It's interesting because, you know what? Everybody talked about how wide open the NCAA tournament was. But to me, the NBA playoffs look just about as wide open as the NCAA tournament does.
But no, to me it's different.
Because the reason I say that is because when you look at the Houston Rockets taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, I look at the Timberwolves roster. Timberwolves have just as much talent as the Houston Rockets do. You got Karl Anthony Towns, you got Andrew Wiggins, you got Marquise Teague, you have Jimmy Butler for an 8 seed. I mean, that is a very good team. And then you look on the other end, with the Toronto Raptors as well, taking on their first round opponent. I can't remember who Toronto's playing, but it's another very, very close game. Like all the games, like the 2-7 matchup is not something that I would say was out of the realm of possibility. Of course, the Bucks, the Bucks are taking on the Celtics in the 2-7 matchup. But I mean, like literally none of the playoff matchups are what I would consider to be outrageous. Like to me, it's wide open. Like I wouldn't be surprised by almost any team beating the other team. I mean, I'd be slightly surprised if Houston, just because they were pretty much the banner carrier most of the season. They were so consistent, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Timberwolves got that win. I think it's very wide open.
To me, the difference between like the NBA and the NCAA is that on the NBA, there's a parity in talent, and there's a lot of talent in the league. On the NCAA, all the talent left went to the NBA, and it was just bad basketball. Really, it was just bad basketball. It was inconsistent play from a bunch of teams, maybe one or two superstars and a bunch of bums. You had teams that played really well together without any type of talent, but because they're upperclassmen, they could outplay the more talented team that's led by freshmen. But, all your top talent.
The Washington Wizards, that's who it is. Yeah. That was going to drive me crazy. The Washington Wizards versus Toronto Raptors. You have John Wall and Bradley Beal, arguably the two best players in the game playing for the 8 seed.
And there you go. And that's, like I said, that's the difference. NBA, every team is really talent-laden, and there's a lot of parity. NCAA, not one or two guys here or there, but
I mean, it's two completely different games. So yeah. I mean, when you talk about the reasons for the parity or reason why it is so wide open, I think in the NBA it has a lot more to do with the injuries. You had Jimmy Butler get hurt, and in a Western Conference that was so competitive. I mean, you're talking about in the West you had Butler get hurt, and literally the Timberwolves went from being like fighting for that second, third spot, more or less the third spot with the Blazers, to at one point they were out of the playoffs because there was like 2 games separating 3 through 10. So, I mean, that's how, competitive it was in the West.
Oh, you got Kyrie Irving going out for the Celtics.
And in the East, you had Kyrie Irving going out. You had John Wall missing time in the East as well. And I think that all those types of things, you had Cleveland, Kevin Love was out for a while. Tristan Thompson missed a lot of time. They had Isaiah Thomas on their team. You might as well have had half of a player, with IT. No,
that's harsh.
I know. That's
harsh. But you know what? Hey, the first round, the playoffs kicked off, and Cleveland looked bad. I mean, they looked, like I said before, it's just the first game. A lot can change.
Victor Oladipo was a beast.
They look bad. I mean,
he was an absolute beast. Last year, the Pacers played the Cavaliers as well, and they got swept. And I think that those guys were very, very motivated to come back and make something happen. And with them trading away Paul George and being able to bring over Vic Oladipo, Domantas Sabonis, and getting that young group together, it seemed like it worked out perfectly.
And having a Kyrie Irving-less Cleveland team. So now you lose your second scorer. You lose that guy that you could count on night in and night out for 20-plus buckets and to command the attention of the defense.
Absolutely.
You lose that guy, and now you kind of like, who's going to be that second scorer?
I mean, that's always been the thing. Like LeBron James, with everything that it seems like he's done in the in professional basketball, with him making all these runs to the title, or was it like 6 consecutive finals or something ridiculous?
7 in a row.
7 consecutive finals. What's been the thing that's held all those things together? You had Kyrie Irving or Dwayne Wade on all those teams. And that's the difference, is that when you had LeBron James, King James is going to give you 27 points, give you 10 boards, 8, 9 dimes, getting up out of bed. He's going to give you that. But the thing he also had was another guy that was consistently going to give you 25. Kyrie could get you 25. He could get you 30. D-Wade could get you 25 or get you 30 consistent. Then if Bosh gives you 15, if Kevin Love gives you 15, if Tristan Thompson gets 85 offensive rebounds, putbacks, you know what I mean? Like that's, I think the biggest difference this year is who is the other dude besides LeBron that's going to guarantee to get you 20 to 25?
Well, I'm Terrence Chandler, intern here for Main Event Sports from Ballard High School. Honestly, I think the Kyrie Irving trade, that really did affect Cleveland. But LeBron does need somebody else to look for to, like, create their own shot. Kevin Love's a good player, but, like, at this point in career, he's pretty much a spot-up shooter and a rebounder. Like, he's a good player, but he can't get his own shot. And he needs, like, LeBron. He needs LeBron in order to, like, really flow. That whole team needs LeBron for themselves to flow. And Indiana, they just ran him off the court pretty much.
Well, I mean, it's just so interesting because in the playoffs, everything slows down. Everybody talks about how wide open the NBA is and how nobody plays defense, in the NBA. Well, if you ever watch playoff basketball, everything grinds down to a halt. Everything is half court. Everything is bumping and grinding and pushing and very, very physical. And I think the issue right now with the Cleveland Cavaliers is they don't have a good defensive team. They've struggled on defense all year long, and while during the regular season, they can run up and down, and J.R. Smith can shoot a bunch of threes, and you can have all these guys kind of free flowing willy nilly, and you got what's the little guy that shoots all the threes that Cal Korver shooting all the threes. You can't. That's not playoff basketball, and that's why when you were able to say, LeBron, go get you a bucket. Okay, next time down, Kyrie, go get you a bucket. And when you have those two guys that both demand that double team, they're going to make you pay. That's a lot harder to score, especially when you can't defend. And I think that's why when you get beat 98-80, like people are saying, I still think LeBron's coming out of until I see LeBron James lose in the Eastern Conference, I just think it's going to be LeBron James. Like, at what point do people wake up and understand this is not the same, Cleveland team to me?
I think it has something to do with coaching. Like, when Cleveland did all those trades, I thought they were good trades, but it wasn't gonna make a difference because Tyronn Lue's the head coach, and Tristan Thompson played 2 minutes. That's not cool.
Yeah,
Kyle
how did
Korver
that
played
happen?
3
How
minutes.
do you do that?
I don't know. Like, how do you not play Tristan Thompson? Usually when Tristan Thompson or Korver's in the game, that's when LeBron's more comfortable because he's used to playing with them. Not guys like Clarkson. Clarkson's good, but Clarkson's not used to playing with LeBron. LeBron's not used to playing with him. So, yeah, it has a lot to do with coaching for real.
Yeah, Coach Ty Lue's going to have to do something
Yeah.
to make some adjustments. You're not going to win trying to put all these offensive guys out there, Jordan Clarkson, J.R. Smith.
I'm surprised he's still
Kevin
a coach, to be
Love.
honest.
I mean, because you can't do that. Like, that's just not going to win, especially not against the Pacers. The Pacers are quicker at every position. You have Collison, you have Oladipo, you have Thaddeus Young, you have the big guy from Texas, who's
Miles Turner.
Miles Turner. You have a lot of quick guys. Bojan Bogdanovic, he's another guy who can stretch it out, but he's also very quick. He's a lot quicker footed than a Kevin Love, or any of those guys they're putting out there. They're going to have to change to more of a defensive mindset. It would be nice if they had a guy like Iman Shumpert still on the team, or Dwayne Wade that can play physical defense, give you 20 good minutes of defense, but you've sold out and basically gotten all these young guys. I mean, George Hill is a very good defender, but outside of him, Rodney Hood's never been known for playing his defense. Jordan Clarkson's never been known for defense. Larry Nance has never really been known for defense. He's been known for, big athletic dunks and flying through the air, but you got all these guys playing their first year. My issue is this, Haven. We talked about it at the time. The reason I didn't like the trade was 2 reasons. First of all, you traded a draft pick. Okay, Cleveland had 3 picks in the first round. They traded one of those 3 picks. Now they still have the Nets pick that's pretty early. That's going to be, I believe in the top 10. But I think their only other pick is going to be in the, around the 30s or so. That's a team that is probably going to have to look to replace LeBron James after the year. So when you trade that pick and you trade Isaiah Thomas, an all-star, I understand Isaiah Thomas, maybe he didn't fit with this year's Cleveland team, but who's going to buy tickets for anybody who's left on the team for the roster next year? Now, who's going to come say, oh, man, I got to go see the Jordan Clarkson-led Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah,
I want to see the fighting Rodney Hoods of Cleveland. Who said that? Who's ever said those words? That's what they're looking. That's what they're staring at right now, because they once again allow LeBron James to whine and moan.
He dictated the roster, and it cost him. So my next question is this. Is Cleveland done? Do you think they can get past the Pacers, or are they done? Now, my man over here is a Cleveland fan, and he says, yes, LeBron's going to put the team on his back. He's going to average 45 points, 45 rebounds, and 1 assist, because he's going to pass the ball to himself off the backboard and dunk it.
Like Bugs Bunny playing all the positions?
That's right. And he's going to be able to bring it through.
Yeah,
What say you?
I think Cleveland's gonna they're gonna find a way to get out the first round, but
What about the second?
yeah, probably yeah. I don't think they're gonna be Philly as of right now, but they'll get past Indiana and Toronto or Washington. I think.
I'm going to put it like this. I think that the Pacers have everything that they need to get it done. I think Miles Turner has got to be a factor, but I do think there are going to be some adjustments that are made. If I am Cleveland, Tristan Thompson has got to play 30 minutes for me at least. You need his offensive rebounding. You need his defense. Okay? You're going to have to slow it down. You're going to have to play possession basketball. Kevin Love, I don't know if you need to get on Stairmaster or do some agility drills, but, bro, you got to step up because you've got to play better defense because they need your offense on the floor. I'm going with that group. I'm going to slow it down, try to run clock, and then let LeBron just try to go for 40 every night. Yeah. And then you hope you get enough points. That's the only way they can win. But if they allow the Pacers to get up and down, and nobody steps up. Like, nobody stepped up to stop Oladipo. They had, like, Larry Nance guarding Victor Oladipo. Like, that's never going to work.
Switched all the time.
Like, every time they switched, and they switched Larry Nance onto them, all Oladipo did was back off and then come at him full speed and either go with the pull-up or go right by him and get to the cup. Like, there's going to have to be some things. I think that Cleveland can win. But
Will they win?
I don't think so. I think they're going down. I think Sabonis was in foul trouble that whole first game, and the fact that he didn't even play, and he's been, their most valuable reserve big guy. He's had a big part of this team. He didn't even play well, and they still won by 18 in Cleveland. I think the Cavs are in trouble, man. I think they're going fishing early.
I don't think they're in trouble. They're not going to shoot 8 for 40 from 3 anymore. But,
That's agreed, and that's also true. Yeah.
I think LeBron, Cleveland, they could win this series in 5, honestly.
So let me ask you fellas something. So far in the Eastern Conference, I know it's only been one game, but who looks like the best team in the East right now?
Philadelphia.
You know what? I think Philly looked good. I think that the Heat played really well in that game in the first half, and about midway through the third quarter, then Philly kind of had their way. I'm going to be very interested to see if Philadelphia can play the type of defense that they will need to make a run. I think everybody's kind of down on Toronto because they allowed the Wizards to hang around, but it is John Wall and Bradley Beal and Otto Porter and Kelly Oubre. And a lot, Gortat. That is a very good team. I mean, everybody thought the Wizards would be, maybe a third seed. That they thought they were going to be looking at a third or fourth seed. So the fact that they're an 8th seed, that's not disrespectful for Toronto to struggle a little bit with the Washington Wizards. So I still think that right now, when they're playing at their best, to me, Toronto is probably the team to beat. But I will say that if Cleveland finds some kind of way to get out of this first round, I do think that Cleveland, the way they are constructed, is a very tough matchup for Toronto. And I think from that matchup, I think that Cleveland would probably be favored in that matchup. Now, if Toronto plays Indiana, I think Toronto sends Indiana fishing, and they end up making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. But
right now, who would you say is the best team coming out the East?
You know what? I'm going to have to say I'm going to go with the Sixers.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go with
Really?
the Sixers. But you know what? Boston looked good. Even with all the injuries,
Rozier
no Hayward,
with that step back
no
three.
Kyrie, that is a good team.
I will say this. If the Celtics had Kyrie, I would go to Celtics all day long to win the East outright and to go to the NBA Finals. Without Kyrie, I don't know. They're still a very, very good team, even without Kyrie, but I don't know. Right now, just from watching the first games or 2 games in the playoffs, I'm going to have to agree with you guys. I think right now the Sixers seem to be the most complete of all the teams at the moment. Of course, after I watch a couple more games, that could change.
Yeah.
But right now, the Sixers seem to be the most complete team. Guys that everybody can shoot it. Everybody's like 6'7", 6'11". Everybody can handle the ball. Everybody plays good enough defense. I mean, it's just not like, the bad boys back in the day were going to shut somebody down, but, they can play enough defense.
And you get the Beast back soon.
Yes.
When Embiid comes back,
they're going to be scary. When Embiid
I love baby Olajuwon. The little dream.
That's going to be
nice.
scary. I mean, if he comes back and plays like midseason form like he was, and if Kyrie's not coming back, I mean, the Sixers may actually be the favorite to go to the finals out of the East.
Now, flip it over to the West side, okay? We had the first round matchup. We had the Rockets taking on the Timberwolves. That was a pretty good game. We had the Golden State Warriors just absolutely destroy the San Antonio Spurs.
San Antonio, without Kawhi Leonard, is not going to make any noise at all. Without Kawhi Leonard, they don't have enough offense to do anything. I mean,
I feel as if Kawhi's not coming back.
He's not coming back
at all. I don't think he's going to play for the Spurs anymore. Me personally, I think you will see them talk about possibly trading him in the offseason because there's something going on with that. Because, when they asked Pop about it, and they were like, is Kawhi going to play? And he's like, oh, we'll just go ask Kawhi's team
He ain't coming back.
I just don't feel it's very divisive right now. I don't think he's coming back.
I think he's about to get the Dez Bryant treatment.
I don't know if he's going to get the Dez Bryant treatment because they
He's
can't
about to
cut him.
get
He's
the
too valuable. But he will get traded.
No, he will get the Dez Bryant treatment. He won't get cut, but they'll trade him for like half a team because he's that good.
Oh, absolutely.
And the Spurs need a lot of youth, and they need some scores bad because they're aging, and they're not aging very well. I mean, Pop did a yeoman's job, I think, even to get San Antonio to the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they don't have the horses. I mean, Kawhi's the team.
No, I agree.
And they don't have the horses. I mean, I'm 44 years old. I would be like the average age of the San Antonio Spurs right now.
That's true. I mean,
I'm like the average age of the San Antonio Spurs.
Well, no, I mean
that should never
the
happen.
old Spurs, but I mean they have youth. They have good players, but it's like Kawhi. That whole team was built around Kawhi.
I mean, but Kawhi's a superstar.
They need Kawhi and LaMarcus Aldridge.
I mean,
that's their two guys.
Like Kawhi's like that next level guy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. When you have LA on the block, who can give you 20, and you got Kawhi on the perimeter that can give you 28. And they still play that patented defense, and Patty Mills knocking down threes. You got Green knocking down threes. Then you got a good team.
Yeah,
you got a very good team. But with no Kawhi, it's just like the Pips and no Gladys Knight.
It doesn't
you know
work.
what I'm saying? It just don't work.
Yeah, but Kawhi does everything for that team. He's like the point forward center.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, he does everything for him. And now, of course, you also have Portland Trailblazers lost at home to the Fighting Anthony Davises. How good would the Pelicans be if Boogie Cousins was still playing? My goodness.
It looked like, to me, I thought the Pelicans could have went to the Western Conference Finals to play Golden State with Boogie, Anthony Davis, Rondo. I thought they were pretty good, to be honest.
Man, I mean, but that's what I'm talking about. This is another matchup where, I know the Spurs versus the Warriors looks like a bit of a blowout, but, the Houston Timberwolves series looks like that could be a pretty decent series. This Portland New Orleans, matchup right now, Anthony Davis is like by far the best player on the court, and I love Dame Lillard. You know what I'm saying? But Anthony Davis is a grown man, and playoff Rondo, they talk about playoff P. Talk about Paul George.
Rondo.
Playoff Rondo is a monster.
4 points, 25,000 assists.
Yeah. I mean, he's a monster. So I think that's going to be another one to keep an eye on. I think it's going to probably go 6 or 7 games.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's going to be a very, very long series. And then, of course, we have the Fighting Donovan Mitchells, the Utah Jazz, taking on the Three Amigos, man. Good Lord. I've been waiting all year to see the Oklahoma City Thunder look like they looked game 1. And the Jazz, to their credit, they stayed in that game.
Yeah, they did.
Even though, Paul George was on an alien planet. He was ridiculous in that game. And when he's playing like that, and you got Beastbrook doing what he's doing, and you got Carmelo throwing a little bit in as well, they look like they are a team that can go to the finals in that game.
Houston doesn't want to see them.
No, they do not want to see them. And I think that, now don't get me wrong, I think that Utah is going to bounce back. I think they are going to have a very good series because I don't think Paul George is going to be able to go for 40 every game. So I do think the Jazz will get a couple of games, but if the Thunder can play anywhere close to that, because we haven't seen that consistency from them all year.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why they're in the boat that they're in right now. They should win. But don't mistake it. Utah can win this series. There's a reason why they both finished the season with the exact same record. And they split the regular season series. Utah can win it, but, man, if the Thunder can keep that up right there, if they can get Carmelo just a little bit, just turn it up just a little bit more. When you got 3 guys that can give you 80 points a game, let's go ahead and turn the lights out. I loved it. Of all the teams in the West, who do you think looked like the best team game 1?
I don't know. The West is so good, but I don't know. I feel like probably the best team, right? It's probably Houston. But, who had the best performance game 1? I have to say OKC.
OKC looked good. They looked very, very good. But I'm going to have to go ahead and give the nod to the Golden State Warriors because playing without Curry, playing without Iggy, playing with a bunch of new guys and young guys that are making their first playoff run, for them to go out there and just unceremoniously, like even when the Spurs have the backup dudes, they usually don't get done that bad, and they just got pounded. And people talk about the fact that when you have a team that has that championship pedigree and they've won it before, they talked about how the Lakers, after they won the championship in '87, in '88 they came back and they finished like second or third in the West, and everybody was like, are the Lakers going to lose? Can they repeat as champions? And then they went out and just like completely destroyed everybody in the playoffs just because of that. It's like, okay, now it's time to turn it on. I feel like the Warriors are doing that right now. I think they're just taking it to that championship level right now.
I'm going to say OKC, only because Carmelo's never made it this far.
He's never been in. This is his first playoff, isn't it?
It's his first playoffs game. Like, he's never made it this far. And he's still learning playoff basketball because even though he's been in the NBA since like 1987 or wherever he entered the NBA, it seems like forever. He's never played playoff basketball.
But I tell you what, if playoff Melo is like Olympics Melo, then I think that the Thunder will be ready, because anybody who's ever watched, every time Carmelo plays in the Olympics,
he's balling.
Dude is like a monster.
He's balling.
And if they can get that from him, because Melo in the Olympics, the thing that made him great is, you had LeBron, and you had all these great players and Kevin Durant, and Melo just played so efficiently and just was always the dude that was there when you needed him, always knocking down the shot, playing good defense, hustling, getting rebounds, dominating on the block. If they can get that Melo, if they can get Olympic Melo, the Thunder have a serious shot of being able to do some stuff.
I agree with you 100%. That's why if they can get him used to playoff basketball and he starts playing at that next level that you need to in the playoffs, watch out for OKC. That OKC possible finals matchup with Golden State may be a classic. So you know what? I'm excited about the NBA playoffs. I'm excited about what's going to happen next.
Oh, before we get out of here, let me ask you guys, Donovan Mitchell or Ben Simmons? The votes are already in, so now we're just waiting to find out who won it. What do you think?
They're going to have to share it, I think.
Going with the Grant Hill, Jason Kidd treatment.
Yeah,
huh?
pretty much. They're going to have to share it. If you ask me, I think they're going to have to share it.
I agree.
Now, if you had to vote, who would you vote for?
I don't know.
It's tough. It is. It's tough.
You know what? For me, I'm going to go with Donovan Mitchell because he is actually a true rookie. I mean, Ben Simmons is playing his mind off. I mean, he's a 6'11" point guard. I mean, good Lord. I mean, it's insane. But he got to practice a whole year, be in the system, practice with his teammates. Grant, he did not play, but he practiced, and he practiced at the NBA level. That's completely different than just going from college to the NBA and on a team that wasn't expected to do anything, that really didn't have that much talent as the 76ers. My vote, Spider-Man.
Hey, I'm going to put it like this. I know that we are in a triple-double happy world because of what, Russell Westbrook's done the last 2 years. So the fact that Ben Simmons is getting all these triple-doubles, that's something that people are really looking at. Ben Simmons is an amazing talent, but Donovan Mitchell is maybe the best combination offensive and defensive rookie that the NBA in year one has ever seen. When you look at his numbers, they back it up. To be the best perimeter defensive player on the best defensive team in the NBA, to come out and be, to set a record for three-pointers made in a season, to average over 20 points per game, to be the go-to guy on a team that won 48 games this year, 47 games this year. Absolutely unbelievable. Give me Donovan Mitchell, and the fact that Mitchell backed that up, coming out scoring 27 points, 10 rebounds in his first playoff game as a rookie. Only 8 other rookies have ever had 25 and 10 in their first game, and he's the first rookie under 6'7" to ever perform the feat. So,
impressive.
he's so many firsts. I understand that Ben Simmons is supposed to be the next greatest and all that, and he gets the hype because he's seen as the next LeBron. But if you look at it purely based on numbers, forget this guy's not a rookie, this guy is a rookie. Donovan Mitchell has had one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time.
Hey, and there you go.
Give me Spider-Man.
Hey, I'll remind all our listeners, go ahead and hit subscribe. Go ahead and, hey, anything you disagree with in the comments, go ahead and leave in the comments. Hey, we'll talk back with you. Don't forget to listen to Main Event Sports Show every Saturday from 6 to 7 p.m. at 104.7 WLOU. If you don't live in the Louisville, Kentucky area, that's okay. Go to maineventsports101.com. You can download the videos, watch the videos, listen to the show live. You can also listen to podcasts. We have great writers. My man Mark Bacon, Leanne Herring, great writers covering SEC football, NFL football, NBA, all the articles up there. You can also download the app and subscribe to the newsletter, all from maineventsports101.com. So stay tuned, hit subscribe. Thank you for watching. Peace.